got these family ties.
Hi, Matthew.
Hey, Jana, how are you?
I'm doing fine, and you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. A pleasure to talk to you and to talk about my big fat Greek wedding. Three.
Pleasure.
It's a long title, but
Yeah.
it's amazing. So I know you've been. Yesterday, I spoke with Grant about the movie. You've been.
Ah.
You guys have been working together for quite some time. How was like this collaboration this time around? How was like working in a movie different from the Batman, from The Witcher, the series, and now you're going to Greece.
Yeah, it was a lot sunnier than either of those shows. So yeah, me and Grant have done a few shows together, and as you said, we spent a long time in a very dark Gotham, particularly during COVID, which made that project so long. So when this Greek Wedding 3 came around, it was a real opportunity to do something a lot more sort of warmer and in both environment and sort of subject matter. So yeah, to get to explore some of the loveliest parts of Greece and then the island of Corfu, it was a really, really pleasurable experience, particularly to do it with Grant, who we were spoiled for such there's too many beautiful places that we could have gone to on this show, so we were spoiled for choice, and it was nice to be able to see everything that we were doing, whereas Batman was very dark and a very different world.
Yeah, I really enjoy like the way that you guys recreate the village, all these little touches, very colorful. What was like the challenges and how is the process to create that?
I think what took me by surprise and pleasantly is when Grant was sort of feeling out the general look of the architecture and the style of, there's many different sort of styles within sort of the world of Greece and the history of Greece, and I was quite pleasantly surprised when we sort of came across where what we found in Corfu, the more sort of Venetian style of architecture and sort of the warmer pastel shades in the buildings, rather than sort of the white stone, which is very sort of reminiscent of of Greek towns, particularly on the coast. So it was a real sort of, it gave us a bit more of a palette, I guess, to work with those warmer sort of pastel tones, and even when we found the village of Valipatadis on Corfu, even the really old, decayed buildings still had this real sort of elegance and warmth to them, just because it was just inherent in the architecture, and certainly a lot of the colours that were sort of inherent in that village. And then you've only got to add the beautiful blue skies that were constant throughout our stay there. And like I say, we were sort of spoiled for choice. We could have pointed the camera in many directions and just seen a real sort of natural beauty that was inherent to that world.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And like how is work like with Nia and getting her ideas as well, incorporating in your ideas and Grant's ideas and the cinematographer idea, because it's like a collaboration, right? So it's amazing.
Yeah, we were really lucky. We had a good couple of weeks where it was Nia, Grant, Barry, and myself, fortunately, just being shown the most amazing places up and down the coastline. Initially, starting out on the mainland of Greece, and it was really sort of, I don't know. It felt a very organic process. There was one, in some instances we thought we were going in one direction. And then, like I say, we were spoilt for choice with choices of locations, and that it very organically became something else. But it was something that was very, very sort of spearheaded by Nia. Obviously, with Grant's eye, Grant's sort of creativity as well. It was a really, really sort of nice sort of a little band relationship, and like I say, things just slotted into place, and we were really well supported by the local Greek crew. Yanni, our location manager, just kept coming up with all these amazing places, and Nia's considering it's Nia's vision, and the whole thing is Nia's baby. The way that she was able to sort of take a last minute turn and embrace something that we weren't necessarily expecting to see, but we're sort of greeted with. It really built organically, and we didn't have a huge amount of time to prep the film, but just that relationship, particularly between Nia, Grant, and Barry, and me sort of in the background, the picture sort of built quite quickly and very pleasantly.
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful, and I thought, I was like, oh my God, it's so colorful, so beautiful, so well done. Together with like the costumes, together with the cinematography, it's really beautiful. But I really want to know, how was the food in Greece?
We've only got 10 minutes. I could talk to you for an hour about the food in Greece. Yeah, I mean, I can count probably about 100 meals that absolutely blew me away. We were very lucky, and again, going with Nia, obviously there was a lot of recce lunches with Nia, and obviously Nia knows what she's ordering, and we were always very spoiled. The souvlaki, the gyros. I'm sort of getting hungry now thinking about it, and it's such an important part of the culture as well, to get the family around the table, and that's where our decisions were being made a lot of the time. We'd spend the morning seeing lots of things, then we get taken to a really nice spot for some amazing Greek food, and that's where the creativity almost came out even more, just over these beautiful dishes. So yeah, that was not the most obvious of importance, but became very important throughout the show.
No, I think it's part of the creation, the creative process, because Greek, like Italy, Greece, and all of this, they go around the table to eat, and they have those amazing, colorful food and delicious food, and I think brings more inspiration for you guys. So that's why I think it's important.
I think everybody's a lot more honest when they've got a good meal in front of them, and everybody's more agreeable to things. So yeah, it was a good thing to bond over.
That's amazing. You have like a red experience in amazing movies, amazing shows. Now this one, do you have an advice to give to young kids that want to pursue a career in this business?
Yeah, I think it's a difficult industry to sort of find your place in. It's very, very sort of cut and thrust now, and there's not a lot of time to sort of carve out and develop. But I think you just have to be sort of open to the experiences. I think you have to be adaptable. Again, I'm married with 2 kids. To all of a sudden be sort of dropped in Greece for 4 months was a real sort of not necessarily in my comfort zone. But you've got to be open to these experiences, because it's such a wide, varied industry, and there's great opportunities out there, and you just got to be open to it and adaptable, and keep smiling is probably the most important thing, because there will be tough days, but most of the time you come across amazing, talented people who are all just trying to do the best for the show or the production that they're on, and that's kind of a good level to be at, and a good attitude to take with you, and people will flourish.
Oh, that's amazing. And also, I want to ask you your next projects. I saw in your credits that you working on Onka. Is there anything that you can tease us on that?
Do you know what? I was on Wonka way before this job, and it was so long ago I can't even remember what it was like. But yeah, I think it's I think for anybody that likes sort of the Willy Wonka story in previous iterations, it should be a nice sort of, it's a bit more of a sort of Christmas wintry family experience with that hopefully warms the heart a little bit. And who doesn't want to watch a film about chocolate?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And Matthew, is there any other genre that you'd like to work with that you didn't work before? I know, like your art director, you can adapt to any genre, but is there anything that you'd like to do that you didn't work before?
I've always been desperate to do a Western film. I'd like to do a cowboy film, because it's just such a, you go to sort of the hot, arid landscapes, some of which we sort of came across in Greece, and just those old spaghetti Western films. It's something you don't get to see very often. So I'd love to do one of those. Amazing.
Matthew, I just want to thank you so much for your time. A pleasure to meet you. A lot of success, and keep bringing amazing projects to us. Thank you so much.
Oh, nice to meet you, Jana. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like, and subscribe to our channel right here.